Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So today there's going to be a lot of background noise because clearly I'm outdoors in the garden. It's quite a nice sunny afternoon and I've got a few hours to spare. So I just figured, yes, I'm going to get a video out. I'm actually going to do it. I can't even remember how to do this. It's been so long, but I'm just going to show and talk. So in front of me, I've got a box of fragrances. These are all the fragrances that I've been enjoying recently. Last video I did was my spring roundup. And those were the sort of the rotation I was expecting to pull for, but there's been some variation from that. I haven't actually pulled for the ones I thought I would, although there's a few, I think there's a few in here that I did show. Most of these are completely random. In fact, my taste right now is so varied and well, just random that there's no sense in it, honestly. It's like I'm a new person every day. Strange mix of fragrances in this box, but we're just going to go through them all. I've set up the camera here to just focus on this beautiful blue flowering tree. I've completely gone blank on what it's even called, so that's really unhelpful in case you were wondering. My favourite time of the year for my garden is when this tree flowers. Just behind this tree I've got some beautiful lilacs that are all in full bloom, and that actually links me to my first fragrance. So Lilac Club, this is a very indolic, very strong scent from Amouage. It's my only Amouage actually. It's quite powdery. It can be quite sickly when it's not the right, when you're not feeling it, you know. But because it's a nice cool breeze today, this is not too much. And some days it can feel really strong, some days it doesn't, but at the moment it's actually really beautifully working because I'm outdoors and I've got the lilac. I know the lilacs are there, it's just working. Obviously we've got white chocolate in here as well. I think it's white chocolate, which gives it that kind of sweet powdery aspect. It's a hard one to describe, you have to try this one, but it is very dense, very sickly, very powdery, but it is such a beautiful showcase of lilac. If you love your lilac, then you absolutely have to try this one. So that's just a quick mention there, my scent of the afternoon. So that's Lilac Love by Amouage. This is Blouse by YSL, part of their exclusive collection. This is the 75ml. I wish I'd got the bigger bottle of this, and at the moment they're sold out of the bigger bottle everywhere, just everywhere, but I'm absolutely going to get it once it comes back in stock because I haven't stopped wearing this. This is it's got that touch of Delina, I'm not going to lie, but it's something much more classy and refined about it than talking about Delina. It has this beautiful crisp green note of Angelica. It has a green crispness to it, very fresh, very fresh, very cooling, and a lovely musk which isn't too heavy. It just brings everything up. It's ever so elegant, it's ever so beautiful. It's definitely a beautiful pink rose in here, and there is an element, if you smell Flora Botanica by Balenciaga, forget the strong mint and cannabis in that, there's still that cooling fresh greenhouse vibe. That's kind of like this. Flora Botanica meets Delina, but so classy, so simple, but just perfect. Spring, summer, this is such a beautiful day scent, and it really is one of my favourites. And yes, I'm absolutely going to get the bigger bottle because I think it is kind of my favourite day wear rose. I love this. So that is Blouse by YSL. This is from Burberry, and this is my Burberry. This is the EDT. The EDP I'd like to try, but from what I've read, I think this one's probably the one I'm safe with actually. This is more floral, sweet. This is a sweet pea fragrance. This is like a plastic sweet pea, so plasticky sweet pea musk. It is a bit plasticky. I don't know what it is. That's what it. But it's not awful in that sense. It's actually quite satisfying. It has a green touch to it. I like it as a rainy day scent, although I have been wearing it a lot at the moment, even though it's not been raining. I just think it works. It's vibing with me a lot at the moment. It's just really easy. I like the sweet pea element. There's a lot of florals in here. I can't remember any of them, but it's a watery floral with a sort of plasticky musk behind it, and I just really enjoy it. I think it's beautiful, and it's one of my favourites at the moment. So that is my Burberry EDT. So another lovely floral that I wish I'd mentioned in my spring video, because this is the one I enjoy wearing in spring, and I should have included it. I don't know why I didn't. This is Dior Amouage. I really like this one. This is not to get talked about that much actually. It's iris, jasmine and powdery notes. It's very simple, but it has that elegance. It has that lovely Dior elegance, and it's got like a fizzy characteristic to it, which is what I really like. It's a slightly green touch to it, but not a stemmy greenness. It's a softer sort of greenness. But what I like is this kind of fizzy musk. Yes, it's powdery, but not in a dry sense. It's kind of dewy. It's dewy and powdery. and it has a real simplicity to it. Clean, fizzy, classy, and pretty, just pretty. And it has that, I suppose there's an element of maturity to it, maybe from that slightly powdery touch, but really works for spring, this one. And I'm really enjoying that, so I've been using that quite a lot. That's Dior and More. The next one, I should actually point out at the beginning of this video that this is going to be quite a bougie video. I've got a lot of new ones in this video. I've done a lot of damage this year already, and the next one actually is new. A lot of these new ones I buy from eBay. They always get a good deal on eBay. But I recently got the Penhaligon's Portraits Discovery set, and one I actually fell in love with the most, and an awful lot, was one called The Revenge of Lady Blanche. I've also got the Countess, what's it called? Hang on. I've got it here actually because I'm going to talk about it next. The coveted Duchess Rose. That's the other portrait that I've got, and I've been wearing that one a lot lately. And if you look at the portrait story at Penhaligon's, apparently Duchess Rose is the daughter of Lady Blanche. I think that's right anyway. Not my usual style, this one. What I immediately thought of was Bluebell soap. Bluebell soap. There's something about this that smells kind of bluebelly. Definitely soapy, and in the bar of soap sense. Definitely not soapy in a bubbly shampoo way. This is like a density, like a creamy thickness to it, like a dense, almost like dryness, a dry bar of soap, which I like because it's done nicely. It's done in a classy way. There's a little bit of spice in here as well, and I've noticed that Penhaligon's, that kind of DNA is that sort of clean, soapy with a hint of spice sort of thing going on. This one is really soft, very elegant, like a really expensive hotel soap, you know. Looking at the notes, apparently there's hyacinth, daffodil, and something else, a musk, possibly a musk. And hyacinth is often used as an accord to create the bluebell scent. So that's probably where I was getting that, where that bluebell was coming from. It's a classy bluebell soap. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but it's just so easy to wear. I think is that like a panther on there? I'm not sure. Really enjoying that one. Moving on to the next one, like I say, it's another portrait, and apparently it's the daughter of Lady Blanche. I don't know why, because they're completely different animals. There's a lot of weirdness going on in that family. I don't know if that's a fox or a wolf. I've always thought it was a fox, but it looks kind of wolfy. I don't know. The coveted Duchess Rose. So this is obviously rose, lovely rose fragrance. This is a really fresh, kind of tangy. It's got I think it's mandarin. It's got like an orange hue about this one. I've said many a time about this one that there's definitely something plummy going on. There's this sort of plummy fruitiness, like a dark fruit, but it's not a dark scent. It's actually really fresh. It has a really smooth quality about it. There's a velvetiness. It's like the rose is a velvety purple rose, but there's this tangy, plummy mandarin thing. And it's very fresh, very safe rose, I would say. Nothing outstanding here. Not the best projection, if I'm honest, not on me anyway. But it does stay all day. It stays sort of in you, quite close to you. And it's just clean. It's again, it's that classy sort of style, smooth, slightly fruity. Yeah, easy. It's very easy to wear, and I'm enjoying that one at the moment. So that is Duchess Rose. So next up is one from Decita. I did talk about this in my previous spring video, and this is one I actually won through a Smurfy Girly raffle when she was raising money for the Red Cross. Fantastic prize to win. I'm so grateful for this because I didn't realise how much I would love this scent. The Pavilion Dior. This is such a beautiful, sunny, meadow, outdoorsy, woody fragrance. This is all about the honeysuckle. We've got a nice bouquet of florals happening here. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Florals in spring makes sense. So we've got honeysuckle. This is a very woody honeysuckle, but it has a very beautiful, almost sort of vintage, edging on slightly vintage edge from quite a heavy dose of orris in the dry down, and it has such a classy, like there is a vintage edge to this. Like I say, it's got like a dry snap to it, but it's also modern and niche, and it has this beautiful outdoorsy smell to it as well. It's very sort of a freeing sort of a sense. It's sunny, it's very sunny, but something about it feels very free. When you wear it, you feel like you're sort of one with the outdoors and nature. I don't know. It does make me feel like that. And it's just beautifully done, and I'm just really enjoying the sunniness of it and the woodiness of it, So that is the very beautiful Le Pavillon Dior. So this next one I've been reaching for a lot. I kind of feel a bit sheepish about it because I don't feel like it belongs in my collection. I don't know, it just doesn't, because it's not my style. And the fact that it gets a lot of hate, well, it's getting a lot of hate, it's quite, I see why. I can totally see why. What's funny is that when I got a sample, I wasn't sure about it at all. I thought, no, this is just not me. And then I sent the sample to Claire, Smurfy girlie, who completely roasted it, which was hilarious. And I totally respect that. Like, I get everything that people, all the negativity it gets, I understand and agree with. But despite all of the negativity, I still kept craving it, and I realised I actually really liked it. And then I kind of, an impulse happened on eBay, and I saw it for pretty damn good price. Well, I still don't think it's worth the money for what it is. It's a new female offering from Creed. Anyway, I was going to get into it. Why am I hiding? I'm hiding. Okay, so this is Windflowers. This is crazy price. Okay, I think, isn't it 260 or something? I mean, first of all, I do love the bottle. I'm not going to lie. It is absolutely stunning. It has that Guerlain Lee Instant shape to it. I think they have kind of been a bit cheeky there. It's definitely that shape, isn't it? The bow is just this cheap metal, like a foil bow. I don't even know why it needs to be on there. I'm not sure it's adding anything. I love all the embossedness. Love the name. I love the bottle. Presentation I love. Okay, it's extremely heavy. So the scent is it's orange blossom peach. I think there's praline in here. I can't remember all the notes. When you smell it, or feel you've smelled it 100 times before, I just know I really enjoy this scent. I don't know what it is. Something about it reminds me of warm orange juice in the morning when it's slightly bitter and it hits you a little bit. But then there's also the florals, which soften it. There's a sweetness. I think it's bitter and sweet, but in a very safe, soft, blended way. Yes, it's a synthetic. Yes, no question about it. Why the price is the price, I really can't possibly tell you. You're paying for the name, probably. The thing I find confusing is how they state on the website that it took them 4 years to make this. 4 years to make a scent that smells like so many things. I don't understand that. But whether you love it or you hate it, no matter what your feelings for it, I'm enjoying it. I am. I reach for this. It doesn't look like I've reached for much, but I actually have. It just smells safe for the day. It's a nice, safe day wear scent. It's got a tang to it. It's got that orangey tanginess from orange blossom. Don't get much of the praline, but there is a sweetness in the background. Again, I get a touch of bitterness. There's the patchouli in here, which that could be accounting for the sort of slightly bitter, there's a sort of bitter woodiness, I guess, in this. One of the aspects that I think tipped me over on the, pushed me to get it, was the fact that whenever I wear this, my husband compliments me on it. He doesn't ever notice anything I wear, because everything I wear usually disappears, but he always compliments me, and I just like that. I just like the fact that it notices and smells nice, So there you go. That's my justification for having Windflowers. I enjoy it. It's safe, it's easy. I like having it. There you go. So that is Windflowers Creed. So the next two are new to my collection. It seems I'm having a little moment with Iris and Violet. We'll start with the Iris, because this is unusual for me. This is a strange one for me to have. It really is. This is a classic, and there's going to be a lot of enthusiasts now that are going to know way more about this fragrance than me. I got a sample from my friend Jon Snow. He's a fan of this fragrance as well. I feel like this counterpart of Miss Dior. Miss Dior had all those 3 formulations, and they were all so different, and all the fans, of course, were very frustrated. Well, it's the same with Dior Homme. Dior Homme. There you go. Absolutely fell in love with this. So many people rave about this and have such a passion for it, because it's become a classic. It's become a well-loved cult favourite. John sent me the EDT, the original EDT. It's the formulation that I think is the most popular. I'll put the date on the screen. That original. I know you've had there's another one since then, isn't there? And there's another one called the original. This is the original, not the new original. I love this scent. This is so comforting, so easy, so soft, so beautiful to layer with absolutely anything. I love it. Is it masculine? No. Is it feminine? No. It's just a beautiful fragrance. Comforting, velvet cushion of iris, and there's lavender in here for sure. Not a fan of lavender, I've realised. Don't like it in almost any fragrance actually, but in here it's so tucked in that you just get the tips of the fragrantness just pushing through slightly. It's not a lavender fragrance. It's just it just cuts through the, you know, that dense iris. So it makes it what it is. It's got a fresh touch to it. Not a particularly heavy scent, but it layers so beautifully with so many things, and it's just such a comfortable, reassuring. I've definitely smelt it before. I must have done on other people. So there's a kind of familiarity without realising it, and I can see me really going through this bottle. I can see why it got all the hype for so long. Absolutely stunning. The original Dior Homme by Dior. Let's welcome a little bit of violet into our floral bouquet. So I have a fragrance from Chanel. I'm not a Chanel girl. I'm not familiar with many Chanels. This is their Misia. If you're a lipstick fragrance lover, then this one is one to check out. This one is a classic lipstick scent. This is a vintage lipstick fragrance. Violet, beautifully done in here with aldehydes. I believe there's a touch of leather in here. You've got rose and lychee. There's a lot of different notes in here. The EDT I originally had, I sold it because it wasn't, I just didn't vibe with it. I revisited my sample, found out there was an EDP, got a sample of the EDP, compared them both, and decided that I much preferred the EDP. I think with the EDT, I found that the iris stood forward slightly more. Very, very subtle, because they're incredibly similar. But it was the iris in the end that was stopping me from loving the EDT. This one is much smoother. It's something more balmy about it. It has that waxy surface, that waxy lipstick surface, but so smooth, not dry, balmy. And there's a massive dose of violet in here. It's proper, it's like violet that's been coated in a wax finish. You know, it's been waxed and balmed, and it's like, yeah, it's all preserved in this waxy balm, but it has that beautiful lipstick feeling about it. And of course with those Chanel aldehydes, which it's not too heavy in aldehydes. I'm not a fan of aldehydes, but without them I think this would be a little bit too flat. You need that just to lift it a little bit. Smooth and soft, but so beautifully vintage of a lipstick, and classic in that way, and I think very unisex. Really beautiful violet fragrance. Such a classic feel about it. So that is one I'm so happy to have back in my collection again, but obviously in the EDP version. That's Misia by Chanel. So there's quite the floral springtime bouquet here. It's just a beautiful range of florals. Sweet pea, you've got the iris and jasmine, you've got a beautiful watery rose, what I call bluebell, but really it's sort of hyacinth and daffodil. We have a lovely rose here. Lilac, beautiful lilac. We have our violet, we have our honeysuckle, we have orange blossom, and a lovely lavender and iris. So we've got so many beautiful floral fragrances. I'm going to end it on one of my favourite fragrances in my collection. Although it's relatively new, it's sort of made its way up into the top tier of favourites quite comfortably and quite easily, because I just vibe with it so much. From the house of Louis Vuitton, this is Heures d'Absence. This is my favourite from this sort of exclusive line of Louis Vuitton. This bottle is so pretty. It's such a lovely weight to it. It has the Louis Vuitton there, and it has a really lovely strong magnet, really strong magnet. It's just a lovely presentation. This is such a silky, elegant, wedding appropriate, fruity floral. I think of it as silk, like silks, like shades of violet and pink and light blue, silver and white. An ethereal collection of beautiful silks, because it's such a silky, effortless, pretty fragrance. I think of it as my white rose in the rain. It's just something about the rose quality in here. I picture white rose petals, just the velvety aspect of the texture of a white rose. It's all about this textural thing, I think, with this one. I think there's raspberry in here, but I always smell a kind of a lychee. I get this beautiful, juicy, sweet lychee in the beginning, and it's so watery and juicy. But going back to this textural thing, I also get a slightly powdery thing. Watery, juicy, and powdery, and velvety, but so pure. It's nothing heavy, it's just this beautiful iridescent aura. It's silky, iridescent prettiness. It's a beautiful scent for a bride. It's just something, like I say, pure and magical about it, very ethereal. It's a silky, timeless, fruity floral with nothing projecting too much, nothing stands out too much. It's just this beautiful mosaic of all the notes and all this prettiness, and I just absolutely love this fragrance. So Heures d'Absence, meaning the absent hours, and there you go, Timeless by Louis Vuitton. So that's all from me on this casual sunny Sunday afternoon, bringing you all my favourite springtime florals that I've been currently enjoying and they're in my rotation. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you all in the next one. Over and out.